Hello you lot, this is KeefCooks, I'm Keef, and today we're still in January, or Veganuary, so I'm going to do another vegan dish. And yeah, you might say it's another vegan dish trying to mimic a meaty one. In this case, it's a pulled jackfruit sandwich. Before we start, shout out for Simon Templar, who's had one before but wanted another one. So there you go. And yeah, Veganuary. Somebody asked me if is this a thing? What is it? What is it? It seems to be mostly a British thing. It's just an unofficial campaign by some people who think we should be vegans. Okay, so. I know a lot of people want to reduce the amount of meat they consume, and that's marvellous. I'm actually one of them. But at the same time, I don't, I do love meat and meaty things. So if you can get a realistic substitute for a pulled pork sandwich or a beef burger, then, well, it's fine by me. Although a lot of these things, TVP, Quorn, Impossible Burger, Beyond Meat, etc., they're all kind of lab grown or they're very intensely processed. I mean, we go on about not eating processed food, but this is the ultimate in processing. So yeah, that's a bit iffy. However, jackfruit isn't. It's a huge. If you enjoy this video, give it a like, share, subscribe. Yeah, let's get on with it. The recipe calls for BBQ sauce. I don't have any ready-made, and I've never actually found a commercial one that I like. So I'm going to make my own, and here are the ingredients. They are not set in stone by any means, and I'm not giving you quantities, because with this it's all a matter of balance and tasting and testing and, getting it the way you like it. But what we've got basically, mostly tomato ketchup and black treacle. I believe you can use molasses, although some people say you can't. Some mild chili powder, some smoked paprika, finely sliced onion, Worcester sauce or Hendo's if you're in Yorkshire, a couple of cloves of minced garlic or a teaspoon of ready minced stuff, garlic, some sugar, some vinegar. I happen to have white wine vinegar and balsamico, because I think that's a nice combination. I love balsamic vinegar. And some English mustard. So there you go, and a bit of oil for the pan. Now it's time to cook the sauce, so we want a frying pan on low heat, good glug of oil, and then when it's warmed up a bit, add the onions. Give them a good stir, get them all coated, and cook for about 5 minutes. Slowly, you don't want them to brown. Then add the garlic, or the garlic paste, and cook for another 2 or 3 minutes. While that's going on, mix all the other ingredients together in a jug. So we start with lots of ketchup, and then add black treacle, stir well, and add the sugar. And it's the sugar is about the same amount as the treacle. Stir that, then add the white wine vinegar and the balsamic vinegar, and that's about twice as much white wine vinegar as balsamic. And stir it again, and then add a 1/4 teaspoon of mild chili powder, 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, and about a teaspoon of mustard. Stir the whole lot really well, then add it to the onions in the pan. Give it a good taste and adjust the elements so you get a good balance of sweet and sour and tart and whatever. By the way, I forgot to add the Henderson's or the Worcester sauce, but didn't really matter. So let that cool for about half an hour, and then stick it in your blender, give it a good old whiz till it's nice and smooth. And put it in a jar. And when it's completely cool, put the lid on and label it. And that'll keep in the fridge for a few weeks, I should think. Okay, let's start doing the pulled jackfruit thing. So ingredients for that, I've got 2 tablespoons of BBQ sauce, 1 small medium red onion, a can of jackfruit, that's 400 grams, well 250 grams drained weight, a couple of tablespoons of tomato puree, and half teaspoon each of chipotle chili flakes or any other kind of chili flake, cumin seeds and ground cinnamon, and a tablespoon of cider vinegar and a couple of teaspoons of smoked powder. I got that online quite a long time ago, but it's good stuff. Right, let's talk about the jackfruit. So jackfruit is similar to durian. It's a huge thing and it grows quite abundantly in Southeast Asia, and probably until 5-10 years ago they maybe wouldn't even bother to harvest the stuff because well, there was no use for it really. When it's young and not ripe, it's stringy, fibrous, and doesn't taste of anything much, which is exactly what we want for recipes like this. Well, once it's ripened, apparently it tastes a bit like mango, and it's not good for a savoury thing. Young, unripe jackfruit in water. I was surprised to find that in, well, several of my local supermarkets, and not expensive, just I think £1.20, £1.40. Anyway, let's open it up and have a look. Well, hey, look at that. That looks like chunks of tuna. Doesn't smell like it though. Okay, great. We need that drained before we cook it. So, first job is peel and finely chop the onion. Well, I said finely chop, I didn't mean that. Slice it and dice it, that's what I meant. So we'll start cooking the pulled jackfruit by softening the onions. So you want a good glug of oil in a pot or a frying pan on low heat, and when it's warmed up a bit, put your onions in and give them about 5 minutes. We don't really want them to go brown. Now we'll add the cumin and the chili flakes and the cinnamon and let those cook for a couple of minutes. Maybe shouldn't have added the cinnamon, it's made it look kind of sludgy. But basically we want the cumin and the chili to release their aromas a little bit. Then we'll add some liquids, so that's the BBQ sauce, the tomato puree, the vinegar, and some water. The smoked powder, and I nearly forgot the jackfruit. So we'll bring that to the boil and cover it and simmer it for about 30 minutes until the jackfruit is, you know, nice and tender and you can pull it apart with a couple of forks. Okay, I'm going to make some classic coleslaw to go with to go in the sandwiches. So I've got some white cabbage, not as much as I thought. I thought I'd got a fresh one, and maybe I did, but I can't find it. So shredded cabbage, something like that. Actually, it's quite a lot there, so that'll be more than plenty. Okay, and a carrot. It's a bit of a monster. I'll just probably use that much. So that needs to be grated. If you've got a food processor, you just, you know what to do. I've had food processors in the past, but I just get fed up with all the attachments that, you know, most of them you don't use. The ones you do use, you can't find them. Good old knife and cheese grater does for me. So there we go, and I'm gonna change to a bigger bowl, and then a bit of onion, not a whole one. So I don't know, maybe about half, and just finely slice it into half moons. I'll just pop these in with the carrot and cabbage and mixy. And then lots of mayonnaise. And stir it really well and get every single bit of vegetation coated. And then finally a good grind of black pepper. And there's lots of variations on this. People like to put apple and walnuts and all kinds of crazy stuff in, but this is your basic, original, classic, and that's the one I like. So we've had 30 minutes and I'm going to taste it and make any adjustments I think are necessary. Now we'll increase the heat a bit and get rid of all this extra liquid because we don't want it totally dry, but we don't want it sloppy like this. So a bit more heat and a lot of close attention to make sure it doesn't stick. Alright, I'm transferring it to a frying pan so you can see what's going on, and so I can see what's going on as well. Because we need to pull the jackfruit. And I'm not doing it with my fingers because it's too hot. It really is quite amazingly convincing visually. Really does look like meat. Okay, let's assemble a sandwich. So I'm using English muffins, but you know, any kind of bread roll will do, whatever you like. And I'm just going to pop these in the toaster for a bit. So we'll just start with a little bit of ketchup, and then some greenery. I've just got some rocket here, arugula, I don't know, a nice generous helping of pulled jackfruit, and well, I'm doing a dollop of yogurt because it is hot, and yeah. This will cool it down a little bit. Okay, now some coleslaw. A couple of bits of tomato. A bit of salt on the tomato. And the lid. That's it. Time for a taste test, I think. Okay, it's taste test time with Mrs. KeefCooks, dragged from her sick bed because she was much and poorly. Sorry.
Just ignore it. Just ignore it.
Right, pulled jackfruit, butty.
Am I supposed to get my mouth around that?
No, only half of it. Okay, yeah, it is a bit of a mess.
Splendid. Oh boy. Oh. There's so much going on.
Okay.
So it's fun. Looks like pork, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so I think this is nice.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we like that. Alright. Just got the hot. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, and
yeah.
see you next time.